opposite Turner in pink. So Turner's on the left. Everybody say hi, Turner. Hi, Turner. And Kate's on the right. Everybody say hey, Kate. Hey, Kate. Now these two, they are Belgian draft horses. Now Belgian draft horses, they're going to be all of your brown and tan horses. Any of the black, white, or gray horses, those are pit trucks. You would need post position if you're in the 1800s. Came damage for insights and discovery on the page. Might have said spider. Yeah, now there are also two movies filmed here. Does anybody know the names?
This is St. Anne's Catholic Cemetery, but this isn't the original location. It was originally downtown just off of Main Street by the Twilight and the Windsor, those two green and white buildings. Well, we moved everyone up here because tourism was starting to grow, and you don't exactly want a cemetery to be the first thing you see when you get off the boat. Unfortunately, they weren't all that smart when they moved everyone. First they moved all the bodies, and then all of the headstones. They wrote on the coffins in chalk who it was. It rains a decent amount here. So now if you're trying to find your Uncle Jack, you might find someone else's Aunt Sally instead. The oldest known grave here belongs to Mary Miners, otters, raccoons. There are a handful of foxes and coyotes wandering around. And we do have about 8 white-tailed deer. Usually the deer come over on the ice ridge, realize there's not enough food for them, and then leave. But a few years ago, some of them decided to stick around. A bear will cross that ice ridge once in a while, but when he does, he's quickly found, sedated, and brought back to the mainland. There is one more very important animal here on the island, and those are the horses. We do have about 500 horses here during peak season, but that is just from our company. If you take into account the other horses on the island, now the total is around 650. There are 2 main draft breeds. A draft breed are the big horses you see pulling the carriages. Any horse that is brown or blonde, those are called Belgians. And any black, white, or former gray, like our boys, are called Percherons. There is one other commonly known draft breed that we don't have here, unfortunately, and those are Clydesdales. We used to have a couple a few years ago, but they didn't work out too well, because in reality, Clydesdales are weak and dumb. Now they are big and pretty, but that's not all they got going for them. They don't have the same muscle strength as our boys out front. I mean, why do you think it takes 8 of them to pull an empty Budweiser carriage? All of our horses do have their own personalities. Bo, he loves attention. Hugs, kisses, pets, cuddles, he will take it all. But he has no idea what the phrase personal space means. Coke, he's a goofy horse. He loves to play with things. His favorite toy is a water hose, because when you're giving him a bath, you need one too. And then Feather. Now, Feather is a sweet boy, but he is a bit of a scaredy cat. Some days he's afraid of his own shadow. If I tell you guys a really embarrassing story about Feather, do you promise to keep it a secret? We were going along one day, Bo farted, and it scared Feather. 10 minutes later, Feather farted and scared himself. I'm not sure how he didn't feel like fond of his own butt, but we'll go with it. Alright guys, I'm sure you're getting sick of me talking and sick of my bad jokes by now. Up here at Arch Rock, I'm going to give you about 8 minutes to get off the carriage and check out a giant hole in the rock. Unfortunately, I can't give you much more than that because I'm on a time constraint, and if I'm late, they take away my fudge ration. I do have to leave at the end of 8 minutes, so at the end of 7, I'm going to call out the word Marco. When you hear that, I want you to yell back Polo and start making it back to the carriage. I want you guys to yell Polo just in case someone didn't hear me yell Marco. They'll still hear you yell Polo and know it's time to come back. Please keep in mind, I am allowed to lead tool back here. It's roundabout, but I'm allowed to. It's a 2-mile walk uphill both ways through the snow to get back to town. Once we stop straight ahead of us, we'll be the international station. We call it that because when you're heading there, you're Russian. Once you're inside, European. When you're all done, you're Finnish. To our left is going to be Arch Rock, and you're also going to see a large set of wooden steps heading up the hill to our left. Please don't go up there. We call those the steps of disappointment. All you're going to do is spend the entire time climbing the steps, just to be disappointed when you reach the top and find out it's the same exact view that you had from down here, and all there is a sign on a rock that says some random dude named Nikolai may or may not have stood up there. Yeah, it turns out he never actually came to the island, so I think you're good. Feel free to leave your stuff on the carriage if you so choose. I'm not going anywhere, so your stuff was safe with me. But I can't promise that wave to me on the road, say hi to them, and gone to some of their houses for barbecues and stuff, so I really got to know a lot of them over the winter. That was fun. During the winter, I was one of the dray drivers, the guys drive the flatbed wagon drive now.
Kakatutok.
Welcome back. In the unlikely event they are needed, life jackets are located overhead on both sides below the deck, beneath the bench behind the pilot house, and in other newly worked areas. Life jacket donning instructions are provided on placards located on each deck in clearly visible areas. Emergency exits are located at the front and back of the main cabin. There is no smoking allowed on the boat at any time, and no standing while the ship is in motion. If you do need to move about, use the handrails or seat backs to steady yourself. Keep small children away from railings close by and seated. If you're riding on an open observation deck, please be aware there is always a chance for spread. If you had your car valeted with us and have not already done so, text your claim check number to the phone number on your claim tag right now. If you don't have the ability to text, please present it to a phone number now so that we may call ahead to have your vehicle ready for you. Once again, welcome back aboard Mackina Island Ferry Company.
Chip.